Hello, everyone, and welcome back to STW Sports. I'm host Samuel Wright, joined by York City fan Ben Jefferson. Well, Ben, welcome to the show. And we're going to start by talking about the National League North season for York City so far. 3 losses, 2 wins. Last 2 games have been wins, though, which is a little bit more positive. What have you made of it, and where do you see the season going?
It started obviously not the best because, for us as a club anyway, we've been hit by a lot of injuries this year, and we've gone with what Steve Watson's done is gone with a smaller squad, so a lot less players than we've had the last couple of years. Obviously, that's COVID impacted slightly, and it didn't help because in our pre-season, all 3 of our centre-backs got injured, and that was our defence gone. And obviously, the start of the season, I think we lost first game 2-1 at home, which it should have been a draw if I'm being biased, because their second goal was a deflection, but that's how football works. Your luck goes against you, luck goes for you. I think second game we were diabolical, absolutely diabolical against Gloucester. And then against Brackley, the first half against Brackley was best performance of the season by that point. We dominated the game, dominated the ball, and then we just seemed to crumble away in the last 10 minutes of that game, which obviously we then lost, so that's not the best thing. And then obviously, Bank Holiday Monday, we were away at Spennymoor, which was probably the best we played all season in terms of football, and we played the best football we played, and obviously we ended up winning that game 3-1, which is a game we probably shouldn't have won in the grand scheme of things, but as you say, it's how football works. You get luck on your side sometimes you don't. And then obviously Saturday just being we won home 4-2, which I wasn't there, was a very convincing win. Apparently went 4-0 up, and then we just took a foot off the gas a bit, and that's where their 2 goals came from, really.
Yep, that's fair enough. Speaking of, obviously, Steve Watson, what have you made of his reign at York so far? Obviously, it's been very much hampered by, of course, the pandemic and, the season stopping. But do you think Watson's a good manager to take the club forward right now?
Yeah, I do. I think he's, in terms of all the managers we've had at National League North, and since we got relegated from the Football League, he's probably been, maybe bar Gary Mills, who I don't think was given enough time, he's been the best manager we've had, and he's been the best man for the job. And I think the stats show that as well, because I think since he's come in, if you look at an all-time table since he started, we're top of the league. We're top of the all-time table since then. So it's like he's clearly doing something right, otherwise he wouldn't be there.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously this weekend you take on Hereford at home. What are your thoughts going into that game right now?
I think the fact we've come off the back of 2 wins, it's good. We've got that momentum going. I feel like we're going to keep it up. It's against the Hereford team. We haven't won yet this season. I think they've got 2 draws away from home, 3 losses at home. So that's the only place you can think maybe they'll come out a bit better. The fact that the 2 points they've picked up are being away from home. But I think we're starting to find our feet. We've got 2 of our defenders back who have been injured back fully fit again. So I think that'll help us. And I think we're just going to, the way we've played the last couple of games, just going to kick on. It's going to kickstart the season with a good performance against Hereford and hopefully climb the table.
Yep, obviously the stadium move must be something that's been massive for York City fans. Really spent so long at Bootham Crescent. Now you are in a new stadium, the LNER Community Stadium, I believe it is, with sponsorship names. What do you think of the new ground, and how do you compare it to Bootham Crescent?
It is a really nice ground. I said it when I first went in. It was the right move to make for the club in terms of where we want to be. It's easily a Football League stadium, if not a League One stadium. It's just a case of getting there now. Obviously, we're going to miss Bootham Crescent because it's where we've played for 88 years, I think it is. So it's like we're going to miss it, but we took the right step in going to the stadium, and it's got the facilities to carry us up the leagues, really.
We're going to take a trip down memory lane now. I'm going to ask you your favourite ever York City manager. I believe you already touched on this earlier on in the interview, but can you confirm, please, who your favourite one's been since you've been supporting them?
Manager? Gary Mills.
Gary Mills.
Twice in a week, 2012. Good memories, that.
That is a fair one. And what about favourite player?
I'm going to have to give it to Sean Newton, obviously current captain. Probably because he's been there for I think it's 5. This is his 6th season he's been with the club. So obviously he's going to be a fan favourite. He's here, there and abouts. And obviously you're going to have players every year who are good players, but then usually they go or they they get released or they're transferred to bigger clubs. I think to name a couple of others that I've really enjoyed watching is Nick Pope and Ben Godfrey, obviously they're Prem players now. Steve McNulty, he was a really good player when he came in. At the minute, we've got Akil Wright, who's really, really good, obviously ex-Wrexham, ex-National League football, and I'd say he's probably the best midfielder in the league, but I'd go with Sean Newton.
And what about favourite ever memory supporting York City? I think I know what this one might be, but yeah, favourite memory you've had since supporting them?
Twice in a week. 2 wins at Wembley in a week.
Of course.
Being Luton down 2-1 to get back to the Football League. Can't beat it.
Yeah, of course. I thought you were going to say that. That's the one that certainly stood out. And coming towards the end, I'm going to ask whereabouts you think York City will finish in the National League North this season?
It's a tough one. Because I think before the season started, and before pre-season, when we got all the signings in, I said top. That's what I said to all my friends. We're going to finish top of the league. After the start we've had, I think we'll get top 3. I'm going to say second. I think we'll finish second this year.
Second. Okay. In terms of teams in the National League North as well, which teams around you do you find threatening?
Fylde, definitely Fylde. AFC Fylde. Obviously, they got relegated from National League 2019-20 when obviously the season was curtailed on points again. They got relegated, and they've got a really good starting 11. I'd say they're the biggest threat to us if we do want to finish top. They're the biggest threat who's going to do it. Maybe Boston United as well, because they've got some good players, some of our ex-players who were good for us and we let go. They're the 2 biggest threats for us.
So you're saying York City second, and then you're saying AFC Fylde at the top?
Yeah, Fylde top, York second, Boston third.
Fair enough. I can definitely respect that. But that's all we've got time for on the interview anyway, Ben. But thank you very much for joining me this evening, and I will see you soon. Also, good luck to York City for the rest of the National League North season.